Alright, are we live? Make sure to change my preview. Oh wait, I can actually use it to my benefit. No thank you. I do not want to broadcast that to a random TV. That would be weird, because I don't think that would be my TV. Anyway, hello. It has been a while. So, things may not look different on your end, but things have drastically changed on my end. I have a new Wacom drawing pad that I have bought, which allowed me to actually change up my setup that I can actually use a keyboard now. So I can actually use shortcuts with it as well. It's still a pretty janky setup, and I still am like crunched in the corner of a room, but it is so much better. So that's where I am today. The funniest thing, while I bring up this, is that despite wanting to draw during this time, I had to change up my setup, so it didn't allow me to draw. But also, I got this eye injury from work, and it has just now, as of today, kind of been good enough for me to stare at a screen again. So I thought that was hilarious that everything kind of worked out the way it did. But as you can see, you can probably see my mouse moving around a little bit differently. That's because that is the drawing pad. And I'm using that as my main monitor, so it's a really nice drawing pad, one that I can kind of like draw directly on. So with that, we're just going to continue what I left off of the little bit I was able to actually do. I figured, hey Bucky, good to see you again. I just figured, while I'm getting used to this, I might as well work on the latte night idea I had, and this is what I have so far. Working on the skeleton. Yeah. So again, I'm still getting used to certain things, but having like just the small amount that I was able to do while drawing this was so much better with shortcuts on the keyboard. It's so nice to actually be able to have a keyboard in use. Now, I don't remember where I left off with this guy. What did I do last? I think I was working on the head last. Trying to remember. It's been almost a day since I came back to this, so trying to pick up where I left off. Hope your last week was pretty good, Bucky, considering I wasn't able to stream, so I wasn't able to see you all then. So, one of my problems with this particular image, I'm on the wrong layer. No, that's the right layer. Oh, that's why. I have to remember, like, this is so different. The pixels are really different. Or the pixel sizes, I should say. I'm just gonna get rid of that. That way it doesn't look like he has 4 arms now. I couldn't tell you. That sounds either like super secretive or just so meh you forgot. I'm gonna pretend it's like super secretive that you cannot disclose any information. because that's cooler. Okay. So, I think I need to raise up the arms a bit because, or at least the shoulder parts. Because he is kind of lifting stuff. So it is going to kind of do this thing where it kind of pumps up. It's okay, you don't have to tell me anything. For your safety. It'll be perfectly fine. Oops. And of course, I still do the crazy amount of, I forget to switch tools. Alright. So, definitely need to pump this waist out more. Now, I'm just drawing the dude that's gonna go underneath the armor because I still don't know how to draw armor. So I figured I would draw the person first and then work on the armor later, possibly when I can find a good reference. But this will essentially be my dude underneath the armor. Alright, what do I want to do? I'm trying to get into the head of the me that was drawing this. That's one of my biggest problems. I should really write notes. I should really put notes on what I was planning on doing next, because now I am lost in my own work. Let's see. I did the head count. I drew the skeleton. Alright, so the skeleton kind of done out like that. Actually, let me just kind of figure out how to do the toes first. This perspective of the feet, I am going to need to use the reference from my book because I don't like this point of view. Actually, you know what? I do need to change. That is one of the things. I am, with the way he's standing right now, it kind of looks like it's effortlessly lifting something. But what I want to do, I want to bring out the legs. That way they're kind of doing this thing. That way it looks like he's putting effort into this. So for that, I think head count is where, no. No. This should be fine. Okay, let's go to the knees. So, that's that long. I don't want that far of a neck. That's a little too large still. That looks like a right triangle. We can have the knee there. Not a right triangle, but an equilateral triangle. Come on. Okay, don't make me use the line tool. Alright, that's good there. Maybe a little bit higher. Right there. This is where the ankles will be. Then this is where the heel is going to be. Now I can actually change up the perspective of the feet. Because now I can kind of do this thing. Do guns exist in your story? Oh, hell yeah. My main character uses a gun. If we're talking about the main comic book I plan on writing, yes, definitely are guns. Because it is a I don't want to say post-apocalyptic, but it is a dystopian setting where technology is high, but the capability of obtaining that said technology is very rare to the very rich. And you have like dingy sorts of people that have to deal with like hand-me-down technology for everyday use. I think I've mentioned it maybe like once that I have about like 3 ideas for comic books. 3 main, I say main stories, 3 stories that I kind of rotate around between like what I brainstorm on. This one though, the dystopian one with superheroes is kind of my longest one, and was the one that I tried to make into realization when people kind of choked out on me. So I call that one my main one because I was actually closest to actually making it. What I mean by that is I paid someone to say, I'm just going to take your money and run. Alright. Waist seems a little shallow. I mean, he could be comically skinny, but let's actually bring out that waist. How much did that little mistake cost me? Luckily, not as much as you think, because I was doing it through a proxy website where essentially like they would help me find people that could, and to be honest, I can't even remember the website at this point. It was like find work or something like that .com or find, it was find something, and I can't remember the rest of it. And they were able to give me partially. They were able to essentially cover half of that. So, in total, I had hired the guy for $400 to make the first 2 issues, and when he left and essentially took my script with him, the hosting website was able to give me back $200. They don't deserve a shout out? Yeah. And to be fair, I don't like to shout out things that weren't so great of a service. I doubt that they are still in business the way it was, but back then, that was pretty much the only thing I could find at a decent price, and I should have known better. You get what you pay for. I paid for crappy service. I got crappy service. So, I don't have good things to say about them, so I wouldn't say the real name. Okay. Or the full name, I should say. Even if I could remember. But years of bad memory. Okay. So, the nose looks really big to me, but I'm not going to worry too much about that because that's going to be covered by a helmet eventually. Let's go ahead and go to a new layer. I can pretty much get rid of the head count layer. Yeah, I don't need the head count layer. Or the opacity on that one. That way we can really just start working on the dude underneath. Okay, let me actually just zoom out. See what we got here. It's a little bit of difference, but it's actually within my mark. Okay, one of the shoulders seems to be too close. Okay, I think when I moved it, I shunted it too closely. Ever so slightly. But to go back to your original topic of conversation, yes, my comic book does use guns quite a bit. One of my auxiliary heroes is an ex-military dude. So he uses guns, or kind of, without too much of a spoiler. Okay, this one needs to go up. Oops. That's better. And this isn't the final product, so maybe we can fix it off in post when we're actually drawing the person. So let's go to our new layer. Oh, what happened to it? Show grid, no. Uh-oh. I think I lost one of my windows when I was messing around with trying to figure out what all the key bindings did. That's fine. We can worry about that later. Wow. I have so many habits from using my laptop for so long. So, one thing I do have to remember is that from my last drawing, that one of the feedback that I was given was that my arms were way too small. And I agree. My people had like 0 meat on them. So, going forward, trying to keep that perspective in mind that my people need some form of muscle. How much is what's going to be the biggest problem. I'll need that line later anyway. Alright. Go ahead and lower that layer just a little bit more, because I'm getting a little confused. Hearing you refer to them as people sounds so weird to me. Hey Gabriel, good to see you. Welcome back. Or Gabriel, I'm sorry. I'll try to remember that. What do you mean by here? What? My drawing says people? Is that what you mean, Bucky? Because sometimes I just talk and I don't even know what I'm saying, so sometimes I don't know what I actually say. Oops, I'm on the wrong layer. Are they OCs? This guy? Yes. This is, this is what, this guy is, the Latte Knight I'm going to be using for, my channel when it gets updated. Because I do want to continuously, redo my... You call your drawings your people? Oh, that's interesting. I didn't even notice. uh, yeah, this is hopefully going to be my new icon for my channel. But everything I do here uh, will be considered an OC. Uh, if and if it's not, I will explicitly say, like in the title, if I am drawing something from like that is either like copyrighted or something like that. That way, no one gets the wrong idea. What game is that? I can see that you have an anime-ish thing, but I can't tell too much detail from my tablet. What game? What game was it? Balin Wonderworld? Never heard of it. But I mean, that makes sense if it flopped. Trying to get this, but to make any sense. Come on. Why is it? What am I doing wrong here? So how's it going with the pad? It's really nice. It just is, it's taking some getting used to because I have so many habits that I've built up with the lame setup I had previously. Like, I'm constantly still trying to touch the screen in order to zoom in. You can't do that here. So I've had to like retrain myself. And considering I haven't had too much time because I had an eye injury earlier this week, that's barely calming down. I'm still draw a circle. my circle. Okay. You good with the pad? Oh, thank you. Yeah, the pad is very nice, I will say. And I'm really glad because I paid a good penny for it, you know. I wanted something that, since I want to do this professionally eventually, I wanted to do a proper investment and not and get a decent one. The funniest thing is, I was gonna get a much more expensive one. It's the same brand and everything. It's just a much bigger one. However, upon using my handy dandy measuring tape, I found out my desk cannot handle the size of that. So I was forced to buy the smaller one. Now, when I say smaller, it's the exact same size as my laptop. As far as like the workspace, it's a little bit bigger dimensionally. So it fits perfectly for where my laptop used to be. But I really wanted the bigger one. And my little desk that I have a ghetto setup with wouldn't be able to hold it. So I had to settle. And I'm glad I did because, you know, sometimes you just do unnecessary things and get unnecessary stuff. And I think this is perfect for my needs. Time for a new desk? Well, see, the problem with that is that means I need to move because then I need a new place to live in order to accommodate my new desk size. And it's a whole mess after that. Maybe one day. Maybe one day, if this ever takes off. Let me look at those feet. Okay. So I am going to need to adjust this part of the leg on both sides in order to accommodate what my feet are doing there. See, I'm trying to get him into a squat, almost like a half squat position. So I think the legs need to be a little more on the front side in order to get this perspective. Why are moving night? I wanted a slightly larger drawing pad. Like that nursery rhyme where the something swallowed the fly, the something swallowed the spider, and you know, it's just a whole new mess. It's too thick. Okay, if I bring the knee up just a bit more, that could actually work. Oh, okay, this is a little too much. Okay, that could work. Then I would have to bring this further down. There we go. There we go. Now my feet kind of make sense. Yeah, I agree with that. Totally. Uh, where you just, I call it fumbling until you get it right. Where it's like, you just keep doing stuff, and it's like, maybe it'll turn out right eventually. I see a little void of buttocks. Yeah, yeah. We have to add the butt back here. I wasn't gonna do that yet, but I think that's what you're talking about. The leg torso connection is so confusing. I know. It's like, what happens here? Like, there is supposed to be like a crease here. Like, it's supposed to stay round-ish, and there's supposed to be like a small crease here, if I can remember correctly. Something like that. Yeah. Oops, that was a little too much. Especially in the stance that I'm in, that I'm drawing my character in. Since he is kind of pushing it out, we're definitely going to get a lot more a deeper crease because of the strain that he's putting on his legs here. I don't think I'm gonna do too much detail on the body, like the muscles and everything, because again, he's gonna be covered up in armor. don't need to worry about the feet, but I do need to worry about the hands. Because the feet, again, are going to be booted up with armor. But his hands are going to be different, so definitely need to draw in the hands. I think I started early today. Not quite sure. Wait, why is my computer? Give me 1 second. Oh, right. Yeah, I know I just have to do the base skeleton, but this is also just practice with my drawing pad, because I haven't had time to really test it out. And I haven't had a lot of practice with body, so I wanted to make sure, you know, I didn't lose anything during my time off. That way, I went through the motions to, you know, make sure that I retained my skills. Okay. I do have to remember, because a closed fist, the fingers will be a lot thicker. He is going to be holding on to a bar, I think. I think that's what I want him to do. Whatever. I'll fix the bar later. So. Oh, let's fix that. Think you really need a reference? I am holding on to a bar right now, so that's kind of my reference. The only thing is trying to use my hand for multiple things. Really trying to concentrate on at least the fundamental of what the fingers are doing. So I'm going to need to change that part. The knuckle here needs to go straight down. This needs a little cleaning up. Great nemesis of every artist's hands. Yep. Yep. They're just so weird. Like... they make like 0 sense when you actually start looking at them. If you do wrong, it will look stickish alien? Yeah. Very much. Which will probably be what I end up making. Let's be honest. Oh, it must have been looping. Okay. That's there. Okay. So my wrist needs to come up more. I probably could push the fingers closer together. Scrunch them in more. Definitely fat-handed. Let's see here. I guess if it was... See, okay, so... I was kind of just like nonchalantly holding the bar. But I guess if it's something weighted, it would be much different. It would be a lot more closed. And fingers even overlapping with each other. go ahead and make a proper bar since we're erasing everything. What the heck? Oh, why does it do that? I don't understand why it does that. Alright. Oh. No. Too high. close. Kind of almost touches the very edge there. Okay. I see. Kind of flares out a bit. Okay. I still don't like that pointer finger. Something's off there. I think. But yes, I do agree it is way better. Even if there is something bothering me. Is that it? No. No. I don't know why I did that. That's not what I agreed in my head I was going to do. I was gonna get rid of this one. Doing the old habit of holding my breath while I draw again, because I don't know how sensitive this tablet is. I did the exact same thing when I first turned on my laptop that I was drawing from. I was so scared of its sensitivity that I would hold my breath. See how that looks. Hey! That doesn't look half bad. Looks hell of a lot nicer. Don't know if it could be bigger. Let me check the entire. So the hand itself needs to be able to cover the face, I believe is what they. So I may need to make it just a tad bigger. I'll make a note of that. Increase size. Now the real question is, do I cheat and just copy and paste it and then flip it? Do I want to cheat or do I want to get the practice in? Let's get the practice in, damn it. Oh, my laziness trying to get the better of me. Okay. Because I hate that the most. Like, specifically the hands and the feet. Like when I do really good on one. Oh, that's true. I do need to mirror the. Let's go ahead and. Okay. It's not the worst. There's something going on with the pointer finger. At least from that distance. Oh, you know what it is? That bar is in the middle. I think that's what's throwing me off. Yeah. Yeah, that definitely was it. Okay. And I want to do this real quick. I like the overall shape of like this part right here. But comes a little more straight up. I think that's where that crease would be. Oops. Just a tad too tall. Now that I can mirror the picture easily with the actual shortcut for it, makes it a whole lot easier. that's just my strange knuckle that I'm going off of. My knuckle's kind of pointy there. Maybe I should just keep it back the way it was. Okay. I think that's something I can live with. So, now on to the next one. Oh, thank you. I don't know if I would go that far, but thank you. I will take the compliment. Alright. Let's go ahead and make our bar. Hey, why didn't it go? Difficulty of using your opposite hand to draw. Or using your opposite hand as a reference. Yeah. It's so hard to get into the mode of, alright, now I need to duplicate this. Especially since, again, most of my successes are fumbling into success. at least in this stage. I don't know why it's so hard for me to translate like the reference of my hand backwards. Oh, you know what? That actually makes a lot of sense. Because, yeah, like trying to translate this is really putting me at like, I can feel the cogs in my brain. Oh, that's right. Didn't I? Yep. Yes, I did. I had to push this up. I completely forgot about that. That's why my hand, I was starting at the wrong point. I'm just gonna draw quickly, or not quickly, but like a little, little messy. To see if I can't more work at. It's impossible to change or fix something that's not there. So I at least need to have something that is wrong on the paper so I can fix it on the paper. On the canvas, on the screen, on whatever I want, whatever it's actually called. Rather than not having anything and just sitting and looking like a buffoon for another half an hour. Sometimes you just gotta draw something bad. That way you can make it better. That's one of my biggest things is paralyzation, where you just kind of freeze up and not know what to do. And that helps no one. What can I fix here now? A little more angular. I think you are talking about the tip, right? So I made it too short now. having such a hard time fixing that. Might be a little too close. Oh, what'd I touch? I think I touched one of the active buttons on the side of the active pen. You know what? For just forcing myself to draw and not worrying so much about it, it's not bad. Okay. My thumbs are different sizes. Okay. So I want to increase... No. Okay, I can make... Yeah. Let's make this shorter then. I thought this needed to be longer. The more I compared it with the other one, the more that one looked more natural. Let's check it out. Alright. I think I could probably do some improvements on it. Definitely reducing some of the curvature on the pointer finger. That also needs to be a little more angular. What I mean by a little bit, I mean everything needs to be angular. I'm not gonna draw my weird knuckle. Okay. I think my bar. So, the interesting thing is, I think this hand is the correct size that I need to increase that hand to. That hand is so much better in quality. And I also think that I really messed up because my two bars are two different sizes. I think I should have thought of that. I should have thought about that before. But yeah. Oversight on my side. The bar is being connected. You probably want it to be the same size. Just smaller one and increase the other a little bit. Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. Just increase the size of this one just a little bit, just enough to get the two bars around the same size. That way I can connect it. Doesn't necessarily have to be perfect, but I do want to give some sense of connection. But yeah, definitely the hands being different actually does, uh, interestingly enough, provide a little bit of chaos, I guess. Oh boy. Whew. Don't think I had enough coffee before I started the stream, because I am yawning like crazy. Ooh. Dude outside is revving his engine as well. Hopefully you can't hear that, but I hate it when my neighbors do that. It's like super late at night and they're outside revving their engines. Like, chill, dude. You're not that cool. It's like I get over here for sneezing, or I get in trouble for sneezing, and these people are out here revving their engines. I tell you. Cool. Don't need to add fingernails to it, because again, they are going to be gloved. Oh, that's a good point. I want to make that pinky a lot smaller. Not bad. Cool, cool, cool. Alright. Let's make sure our person actually has some meat on his biceps this time. Let's see. We have our shoulder here. Actually, I'm very curious about the armor style. Is it going to be realistic, European, or one of fantasy style? That's a good point. I actually did not get that far into thinking. The Latte Knight that I use for the channel is designed off of medieval, simple plate mail. Because when you think of a knight, don't forget the triceps. Yeah, I know. When I think of knight, the first thing that comes to mind is Knights of the Round Table, and how do triceps work? Okay, so they're bulged. Very sharply. That might be too big for a tricep. Gonna have to put a lot more muscle in this part. To match the arm size. Is always more flat. Yeah, the bulge is a little bit lower, right? No, I had that backwards. Reference time electric boogaloo? I heard that before. I have no idea what that is. At least with my shitty memory, I can't tell you what that is. Electric boogaloo. What is that? That sounds like something from the 80s. Or am I thinking of something else? Circles and cylinders would help very much with organic muscles. I would love to learn that. The only thing is they didn't really show me in my lessons, so I don't really know how to do that. since you follow me on Twitter, feel free to like send me any tutorials on that stuff. I would love to take a look at that stuff. But as far as I'm kind of limited on what I have as far as learning return. No. Oh, it's that hour that I stopped learning how to speak, or stopped knowing how to speak. Is that a crying emoji? It's not really tutorial. I learned to do it alone, but I can't. I can show sometime. Yeah, tag me and if you ever do that on like Twitter or something. I don't have time to like scroll through stuff. So like my time is extremely limited onto I get off of work, I come and stream, and then I go to sleep. I check my as many notices as it tells me there's a notice. So if I'm not tagged, then I probably would never see it. But yeah, any reference material is definitely welcomed, whether it's personal or if it's just tutorial stuff like that you have found online. It's like around time I will do a slideshow of my method. Well, tomorrow's hard. That is true. Tomorrow's hard today. So later today, I would definitely appreciate that. Again, I am all for taking any form of advice. Uh, Now, finding time to actually review it and actually going through it and studying it, that's a whole different thing. But again, I would any material I would definitely love. How do muscles work here? I guess there is. This would be a little bit bigger. Like that. that's maybe it for today. Every day is arm day. Yeah, I definitely gotta add some muscle. Let me make sure to add a note to that. That way, I need to. That way, I don't forget when I start doing this tomorrow during lunch to add the muscles to the legs. I'm just saying that it's enough for today. It's already been 2 hours, and that's kind of the limit for my wrist at a time. That's what you get when you've been doing martial arts your entire life and you stop all of a sudden. But anyway, that was fun doing those hands, despite having a minor panic attack when I had to do the right hand. And yeah, very excited with this drawing pad. So much smoother than just what I was doing with my laptop with a simple touchscreen. You know, it was so much nicer having the shortcuts available to me. Not having to worry about my pinky, like just making random lines. It was so smooth today. I am so happy I made this purchase, and I am once again excited to draw because I will say this. The last couple of days I had to do it on my laptop. I was getting so frustrated, it was making it so unenjoyable. So I'm so glad this worked. I'm so glad that I can get rid of those handicaps and, you know, fully just enjoy learning how to draw again. So, with that, I will see you not tomorrow, because tomorrow's Monday, right? Or I should say today. Today is Monday. So I won't be here tonight. I will be here Tuesday night. Yes. And thank you again for everyone coming out, supporting me with the views and the comments. I've had a lot of fun with you guys coming in and chatting with me. And because I suck at outros, I'm just going to say good night. And I'll see you all later.